of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak, I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Held a risk, I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Down, 50, plant.
Right there, 56.
Oh, here we go. Oh, deep rip.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
27 yards there, a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on it. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
2nd and 6. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want a blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure on the passer.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Now a give right side. It's Armstrong. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
The toss play to Mixon. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Airing one out for Boyd. It got his man complete. A big play there for the Bengals. 59 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. 25 yards that time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they... Got it with a 1st and 10.
Double time, double time. 4 down, 4 down.
Mixon with a first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Me and you all day, all day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
Ready?
On 2nd down, Mixon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On 2nd down now, it's Armstrong. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll try the left side. Armstrong. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Armstrong. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Check safety. Check safety.
Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Back to throw. Schrader. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there on a 1st down for Seattle.
Leo,
Right back to him on 1st down. 10 more there and another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run here with Mixon. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
60
On 2nd down now, Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends from the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys were excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He'll drop to throw. Open man is Higgins. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll look to throw here. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain of right around 30 on a play that began way back inside the 5. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
60 Pittsburgh.
I got it. Under 10, under 10, 10. Joker, 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 joker. Check 3, check 3.
They go play action here on 1st down. This complete to Lockett. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Myers' kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. The Cowboys looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, it's off to Jacksonville to see what's going on with the Jags. And they lead the visiting Denver Broncos at the half. D.D. Westbrook, 2 touchdown catches, in that first half alone. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. The Texans trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic as usual in that first half. His guys have the lead as we get you back to Cincinnati for the start of the third quarter. Here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 57 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, 0-0-0.
They'll try the left side. Akers. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, alert.
On 1st down, it's Armstrong trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Armstrong. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the... The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll look to throw. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Back to throw here. Got a man open, and Tross. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. A big play there for Cincinnati. 49 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Joe Mixon. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush is just...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
70, Indy. 54. General West. Get it. Fight.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Akers, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Akers. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
On 3rd down, it's Armstrong, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
On first down, it's Armstrong. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Armstrong. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, here we go. Put up.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's the 2nd and 7. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
56 is the mic.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his running back, Mixon. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
6-6, pull it high. Bang, 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 bang. Orbit.
Check. Check hot route. Hot, hot. Slam, slam. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check.
Ready.
Throwing on first down. Trader. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right.
60 outlaw.
I'm going to come back to you.
Blue draw Corkers. Hit it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead.
See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
And nice. Past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Taking the sideline grin as well. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, Akers. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On 2nd down, Akers. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll try the left side. It's Armstrong. Of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. The offense is going to stay out there. They've converted twice, failed once so far on 4th down. Let's see what's in store here. 20. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And that will cut this lead down to 25. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check the out. Check the out.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's complete to DK Metcalf. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 43 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right cover.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.